Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Although Glashutte Original of Saxony has distinctive engineering and finishing traditions, it's hard to say that the company has an evergreen design icon, but the closest to that status would be the watch you see here. Originally launched at Basel World 2008, this is the Glashutte Original Panoinverse, a timepiece that is 42mm in stainless steel and gives you all of the action up front, German watch finishing and style, without any need to remove from the wrist and no need for a display caseback. Though it has one, all of the action of this inverted caliber 6606 is on the dial side. A saucer-shaped watch, 42mm in steel. It has a broad stance at 48mm, but it's a reasonable span that I can still endorse for a wrist as small as 14cm circumference. It's not thick either, the timepiece measuring 11.7mm thick. It is broad and flat, and it'll fit underneath any tight cuff or sleeve. Now the spacing between the lugs is a modern 21mm, and that means that the watch at 42 has a nice proportion between case size and lug spacing. It's stanced and planted. Let's take a quick look at the strap and some of the accessory hardware. Let's start with one of the clever aspects of the design. You can see that there's a little recess adjacent to the strap, which allows the strap to be drilled close to the case, and you have that on both sides so that the strap does not get constrained or pinned against the case flank. The strap is substantial. A little bit of bolstering to add some body and volume. It's thick cut, large rectangular scale alligator leather, matte finish in black with a monotone stitch and a thick rolled edge. Turn it all over, you can see it's calf skin. And it is a new Glashutte Original factory strap. You'll also appreciate the fact that the clasp is huge and nicely finished. Satin finished and polished on its exterior. Open it up, you can see it's a single fold and nicely made internally with a lot of material invested. So this one also has a nice counterweight. If you like to wear your watch loose, it provides almost a keel to a sailboat, counterbalancing the watch so it doesn't rock and hula hoop on your wrist. The case band is simple but strong. You can see that the primary mid case is satin finished longitudinal. There's a polished bezel. The bezel is actually sunken somewhat below the crest of the lugs to make the watch a bit thinner. You can also see that the case back is set in somewhat, so when the watch is strapped on the wrist, it appears thinner than it is. There's also a contrast between the polish and the satin that I find exquisite, and you'll note that the lugs, 48mm lug-to-lug, are also tightly curved downward. They turn almost 90 degrees from the horizontal, so they wrap well around your wrist. There's a little bit of a fluted profile to the bezel, which is of high polish, and then you get to the dial, which is, as I said, where the action is. Now, everything you love about the caseback of a Longa is here on the dial of the watch. 3/4 style plate, you've got that. Freehand engraved balance bridge, yes, and not a half bridge like a Longa. A full balance bridge, freehand engraved on both sides, so no two are exactly alike. Black polished swan's neck regulator, how about a duplex swan's neck on both sides, used for regulating beat error. Engine turned perlage on the base plate. You'll also note Glashutte stripes across the 3/4 style pocket watch inspired bridge, and of course you have your jewels set in chaton. So the drivetrain jewels are actually set in chaton that are fixed in place by screws. That's a reference to the pocket watch era when oftentimes it was difficult to precisely drill the bridges and plates of a watch. So you would have the drilling in the bridge of the plate, and then you would have a more precise chaton set with a jewel that could then be removed for easy maintenance after the fact. You'll also have applique dial, not just applique indices and numerals, but the dial itself, seconds as well as the hours and minutes, rise above the silver dial base. There's a power reserve indicator for the 42-hour power reserve of the watch, right at would conventionally be 2 o'clock, and you can see all of the screw heads are black polished. It's a gorgeous looking movement. Beaten away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. There is a stop seconds function, and as you can see with a 42-hour power reserve, when you wind the watch manually, the power reserve indicator moves fairly quickly, so you do get instant gratification with the complication. You'll also note that there is some lume on the dial. So yes, you can read this watch at night. Caliber 6606 is adjusted in 5 positions like a chronometer, and as you can see, 31 jewels, black polished covers to access the mechanism from the reverse side during service. You can also see there are additional screw-fixed chaton on the reverse side, but I love those huge expanses of black polish and the tightly coupled stripes on the reverse side. This is a beautiful watch, and as you can see, 50 meters water resistant, more than you would expect on a dress watch, and in stainless steel, you're paying for the watchmaking, not a precious metal premium. So Glashutte Original allowing you to own its borderline icon, certainly its design flagship, in stainless steel, getting straight to the watchmaking. This is one that allows you to show off your display case back on the front of your watch, thereby not requiring you to remove the watch from the wrist. A little bit more insurance against droppage, and with a watch this night, we need all we can get. Beating away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, this is the sensational Glashutte Original Panoinverse. The Panoinverse by night.